Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your Destiny Dad, and today's video is going to be, I don't know. I've been going back and forth in my brain whether or not I want to do a video or what, but I think maybe we won't do much of an in-depth Zerg review today, and we're just gonna yap for a minute. I think it'll probably be a shorter video. So I'm sure that anybody who is or would be watching this has probably heard the news by now. If you're someone who cares enough to be watching a Zerg video, you're probably someone who cares enough to read the TWAB or follow Bungie socials, or at the very least follow a YouTuber who covers the TWAB, like Macdix or Cacus or Aztec or someone like that. So you have likely heard. However, for those of you who have not heard, Bungie, through their official channels, confirmed that there is going to be no more Destiny. We're going to get an update on June the 9th. There will be a Age of Triumph style of an event. Sparrow Racing will return for this, and a Pantheon 2.0. Beyond that, they announced a bunch of cosmetics and some old stuff returning, and basically all the sandboxy kind of stuff that they have said, oh, we'll get around to it kind of stuff for a long time. They're just dropping it. All of our exotics are getting updates to the tier system. All of our old raid loot and stuff is getting updated to the tier system. Everything that's old is being brought up to current, and some of the stuff that is no longer in the game that was once upon a time will be brought back. And yeah, this is very hard for me. I know some people, I've already seen it, some people having reactions. I know one that broke my heart to watch personally was Macdix, because you could see how much it tore him up. And you're already seeing people like, oh, it's just a game. Why are you crying over a video game? That's so pathetic. Like, you know, everybody's always got something to say about everything. And I gotta say, I started playing Destiny when I was 15, maybe 16. Somewhere in that ballpark. And I'm gonna be 30 next year. This game, this franchise, has been half my life. I have made so many friends over the years, so many connections with people over the years, so many memories, and just put so much of my time into this account. I'm going to peek behind the curtain a little bit here, maybe. And we're going to open up Steam. And we're going to look at our Destiny playtime if be able to. Yep. Almost 5,000 hours on PC, and that's just from starting I guess 2.5 to 3 years ago is when I started playing on Steam. I don't know if it will allow me to or not, but we're gonna try and boot up the old Xbox here and see if we will be able to get our capture card to work. The cable that I have for it is kind of janky, so it doesn't like to work all of the time. But if we can. Hey, it's working. Well, we aren't gonna worry about it right this second, but I will also show you my hours on the Xbox just to see how much time I spent in this game, because it is well over 20,000 at this point. I'm pretty sure. I had over 15,000 hours, I believe is what the math broke down to on Xbox. And I also had many hours on other people's accounts, whether it was swapping accounts with friends and they play on mine and I play on theirs, or hey man, I'm dead from work, but I really don't want to miss my raids this week, or I've been really struggling in the Crucible. Do you think you could get on my account and help me get Luna, or anything like that? I've done stuff like that. I think I'll admit I've done a handful of recovs for people. Nothing crazy. I think there's a scummy side of recovs, and I think there's a more chill side of like people just genuinely want help with something that they find to be difficult. And I think helping people do that kind of stuff is cool. I think when you do it on a large scale and you're using cheats and you're, top 0.001% player, and you get on somebody with like a, negative 0.02 lifetime KD account, like, yeah, that's a little, but buddy of mine is good at the game. He just can't seem to get, max rank in comp, and he reaches out. He's like, hey man, here's $20. Can you get me my last, like 500 rank points so I can get my Luna or my Not Forgotten? Like, yeah, I've done stuff like that before. And I won't lie and say I'm not better at the game than they were, but I'm not also, Shroud or anything, right? I'm just getting on and playing well. I've also done the same thing for raids. Like, I've had back in the day when the game was more populated, I had a few buddies that were older, had some families taking care of kids and grandkids and a job and a home, and I was, a 20 something working a 9 to 5 and then coming home and streaming for 12 hours a day. And they hit me up like, hey man, I really want this exotic from this raid, and I don't know how to do the raid, and I don't have a ton of good stuff on my account, and people don't want to teach me, and I just don't have time to sit and spend 6 hours to learn, oh yeah, I'm happy to do that for you. And I would get on and go and do their 3 weekly raids and get them their Vex or get them their 1K and stuff like that, just to help people out. And occasionally I did get money for it, sure, but it was for me, it was more about helping. The money was nice, put a few bucks in my pocket, no one's gonna turn that down, but I've always enjoyed helping people. I've done the same thing with people's accounts and gone and done Sherpa runs. Like, I've never done a raid. Well, okay, and I get on their account and then I can't find a group to do a raid. Well, screw it. I'll post for a raid and then I'll go and sit and Sherpa people through a raid for 6 hours. I've done a lot in this game. I've done a lot in this community, and it's something that has always been there for me, and it's we've had scares, last year and a half ago, there's a really big scare, and then they came out with Into the Light. I really thought maybe Destiny was dead. And then over this past year, there's been 2 or 3 times where it was like, we didn't really know what was coming, but they kept putting more stuff out. And in my head, I kept saying, maybe this is it, maybe this is it. But there was that other part in my head that was like, hey, it can't be it. It's Bungie. They'll pull it back out from the hole they dug and they'll fix it and make it 10 times better than it was. That's what they always do. And so yesterday, I opened up Twitter. Or X, the Everything app, as some people like to call it. And I think it was Destiny, the meme, actually, had reposted the official Bungie thing. And when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was somebody making a fake account that looked like the real Bungie account. And, making it appear as though they were saying something when that wasn't the reality, right? But it was in fact the official Destiny account, and it is true. And But of course Destiny's still going to be there to play, you know, it's not going to go away. But with any game like that, for anybody who's played a game like Destiny, where you've played it when it is stopped receiving development, right? Like it's not necessarily dead. 485 days. Now, I don't have an easy way to show this on the screen, so I'm just going to pull up the calculator on my phone. So if I'm not mistaken, the math for that would be 45 times 24. Let me double check that. So well, it's not like it's not a large number still, but it's 12,000, a little over 12,000. I could have swore I had more days than that. I haven't checked in a minute, but I feel like I have a picture where it says 500 and something. I wonder if Xbox is doing the thing like Raid Report and other places where over time your numbers will degrade, maybe. I don't know. But either way, even if I have 18,000 hours and not 20, I thought I had 20. Apparently I don't, but I doubt that. Yeah, I spent a substantial amount of time and energy, money, effort, blood, sweat, tears on this game. I've spent countless weekends and trials trying to play solo, trying to go and do and get those guns and do raids and find groups and teach people, and you know, you name it, I've done it. I think the only things that I haven't done in Destiny is the newest raid. Did not do it. I was gonna do it once with an old friend of mine who I don't really talk to much anymore. He invited me to play with him, and all of his buddies and him were on Xbox Party Chat, and Xbox has built-in features have not worked on PCs for a long time. I think they work on Windows 11 PCs. I don't have a Windows 11 PC. I've talked about my computer being in a rough spot pretty much, so I'm sure that's no surprise to anybody. But you know, it wound up not working out, sadly. You know, I couldn't chat, and they didn't really want someone with no mic, even though they were all like, wow, this guy has thousands of raid clears, but we don't really, you know, want to not be able to comm with this guy, so wound up not working. But I've done every dungeon, I've done every mission, I'm pretty sure I have every exotic, right? There's not like some magical exotic that I'm missing, right? I feel like there might be like an exotic armor piece that I just never went after and hunted down to get. Because I know there's been a couple in recent years there's just like, hey, I'll get around to it. I don't really care for it. I'm not going to use it. I have no desire to build around it. You know, I'll get it when I get it kind of stuff. So there could be some exotic armor maybe. I don't have Euphony from the raid. So, and heirloom. Where did that come from? The new dungeon. Yep. Yeah, so just the ones that I've had bad luck about. Banality's Augur, Whirling Ovation, Heirloom, and Euphony. Either it's the newest raid and dungeon I haven't done, and then God, I'm trying to remember now off the top of my head. Final shape raid and where does Finality's Augur come from? It's from a dungeon, right? Sunder Doctrine, yes. And then this is Desert Perpetual. Got you. Salvation's Edge. Yep. Yep. But I have just about everything. I'm missing things here and there, but for the most part, like a big dent in my collection of stuff, honestly, is like the non-adept version of guns that I went and got. I still don't I swear I've done the quest for this like 20 billion times, but like this, I don't have Shadow Price, but I have Shadow Price Adept. Obviously the newer raid stuff I don't have because I just haven't raided as much. But I've got so much stuff, dude. I've shown off my account. I've shown off my Destiny item manager. It's hard. When I read it, I definitely shed a few tears the other day. And I am sure that they won't be the last ones that I shed over Destiny. Destiny has been a pillar in my life, for lack of a better way of saying it. And maybe that sounds dumb or sad to some people, but I'm not a terribly social person. I don't have many, if any, friends who live locally at this point. I've had friends that were very close and they've gotten married and had kids and went to college and moved away, and you know, people always say life changes. I am of the mindset that it shouldn't change as much as it does, but it's out of my control and it changes whether I think it should or not. And yeah, I've had a lot of friends come and go, but I'm at a point where the people that I find most surrounding myself with are the random people that I run into when I go and play Magic each week. And I sit down and I talk to strangers, and you know, you learn names and you form a connection and you have a fun night and you chat and you talk and everybody has a good time, but not friendship, you know. Yeah, the I think the legs, and I think there's something on the Titan that I didn't pick up. I think those are the only two exotics that I don't have currently. But you know, hanging out online, talking to people, sitting in a Discord, playing games with strangers, and just adding people to your friends list and playing with them with any sort of regularity has been a really important part of my life for quite a long time. And the thing that really has been at the core of that has been Destiny. Even the friends that I talk to now and stuff I've met through Destiny doing things, and maybe they stopped playing and I never did, but that's where it started. That's where it began, was Destiny. And I suppose I don't really have a point in this video. I don't necessarily have an end goal of what I wanted to talk about or discuss or anything like that. But I just wanted to say thank you, I suppose. You guys who've been watching me, the support has been amazing. It's dwindled a little bit, but frankly so has my content. When they changed things and there wasn't really a reason to upload twice a week, I think that hurt my algorithms, and life has been kind of all over the place lately for me the last couple months, and that has hurt my consistency. But it's been almost entirely positive support from start till now. I have no intentions of stopping this channel. A few weeks back, I talked about it a bunch and kind of, you know, did a light rebrand. and changed up some of the content that I'm making and added some other stuff. And, you know, I'll keep making videos, but I think maybe I won't do the Xur videos anymore. I think if I see something that's like, wow, you gotta pick that up, I'll, you know, get on and make sure to say something about it. Just because it's, you know, it's a nice thing to do. You want to tell people, you want to show them like, hey, you know, this is something, right? Especially if it's a more underrated thing. But frankly, and it's what a lot of people have said in the comments, the ones that are less positive, you know, why do you make these videos, or has the same slop every week, nobody cares, you know. And frankly, yeah, a lot of people don't care. Even the people that still care about Destiny don't really care about Xur, because he brings a lot of the same stuff without too much purpose over and over and over. But I don't know, something, I just care about this game so much, and I want it to be so good. And I've been here when it was so good, and I know that it has the ability to be so good. And I think if more people gave it a little bit of a shot, that it would be in a better spot, I think. And that's not me to, you know, sit here and try and point blame, like, oh, like, I heard some developers, you know, it's your responsibility to buy a game whether you like it or not. Like, I think that's nonsense. I think that's a lazy developer who just wants money in their pocket and wants the people who play video games to put it there. You know, I think that's sad and stupid. But I think that there are and have been a lot of people who have maybe tried the game but didn't really try it, or, you know, like it, and always say, oh, I'll come back sometime. And I think a lot of those people just never have. And I think a lot more people would have really loved Destiny if they did give it a shot. I am happy that it's not just being taken offline. I am happy that they are making it sustainable, or attempting to anyway, and I am happy that I got to experience this game. As in the last handful of months here, there's been a part of me where I think this is the second time ever where I've kind of sat and just intentionally stepped back from Destiny a little bit. The first time I've talked about before, but was during Shadowkeep when it first launched. I was depressed and dealing with some real life stuff, and the game was in a awful state, and it was to a point where you physically could not, you know, hit your max level. And that to me was a big point of why I played, was to farm my levels and get, you know, super high, super fast, and so on. And I took a break back then because it just sucked what the game was out of it to me. And now it feels like I'd say the last 2 months maybe, I've kind of done the same thing. The game just hasn't felt enjoyable during this break. And I know that they've added stuff during the, you know, extension. I know they've done stuff. I know Guardian Games was really good. I know that what was it? Iron Banner was also actually really good. I've heard people say this past season the new gun was insane. But I don't know. I've had a hard time getting on Destiny for a little bit here. And I guess that part of me kind of knew that either there's going to be a big change again, or it was actually going to be goodbye this time. And I think in me somewhere I knew that Bungie didn't have it in them to do another Into the Light, to do another Final Shape, to do another Forsaken or Kingsfall. The seasons weren't working because they were too samey and everybody was bored. episodes haven't worked because they're too not samey and they're too distant, and you know, if you time gate stuff, people get angry. If you let people do stuff whenever they want, they chew through content and then they get upset about it. Like, Destiny as a community is one of the pickiest communities I have ever been a part of, and I don't think I've ever seen any other community of people just like be upset all the time like we are. You know, if you buff something, we're angry. If you nerf it, we're angry. If you don't touch it, it's unbalanced. If you give us new stuff, we're mad because it looks like old stuff. If you reprise old stuff, we get mad that it's not new stuff. If you don't reprise the old stuff, we're mad because that's content we paid for, and how dare you take it out of my game. So it's like, I can understand, you know, I'm not sitting here, you know, saying Bungie's perfect, just made no mistakes, but I think they've done a pretty bang up job with the player base that they have, because I know, myself included, I'm part of it. You know, I've complained about stuff and definitely could have just been appreciative of what we had, what was going on. But yeah, I don't really know. I've just kind of been yapping. I didn't set out with a specific message in mind or a goal or something important to say, but I wanted to get on here and talk, and I wasn't really sure. I was definitely procrastinating. I was watching YouTube and playing Magic and thinking about making food, and just didn't want to sit here and do this because I knew how it would make me feel. And it is not easy. And maybe some of you who will hear this will understand that. Maybe some of you are in the same boat that I am. I mean, for a fact, I know there's a lot of people that are. Whether you'll see this video or not, I don't know. But there's a lot of people that are just a handful of years younger than me that grew up on this game, that started playing it when they were 10, and now they're graduating college. You know, like, I've heard stories over and over and over. And, you know, Destiny's never been a mainstream game. It's never been a Fortnite. It's never been an Overwatch. It's never been a Call of Duty. But I've never talked to someone that's not heard of Destiny. And I have talked to very, very few people who haven't at least tried Destiny. And everyone who has tried it that I've talked to, even people who don't play it, even people who haven't played it for years, it's never, oh, it's a bad game, I didn't like it. It was, the game was amazing, the guns feel good, and it was too much for me to keep up with, or I didn't like this update and it never went back to how it felt before, or, you know, there was some critique of it that just took the magic out of it for them. But the magic is there. That is the thing. Like, no matter who you talk to, everybody understands and knows that Destiny is something special. But I want to say thank you to everyone who has watched the video or watched any of my videos. I know I started doing videos here because of Destiny, and it's kind of funny. This is going to be the second time that I started a channel because I wanted to make Destiny content, and then realized, you know, I just want to make content about more than just Destiny, even though Destiny might be the forefront, might be the main theme. I want to be able to do other stuff and then shift. This is the second time I've made a channel doing this. But now the shift is just not going to be of my own volition, I suppose. But I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have watched today and listened to me yet. I hope you are all doing okay. I know I myself am kind of it's rough. I won't lie. But, it helps to know that it's not just going away, you know? If I sit here and yap anymore, I will continue to yap, and I don't need to upload a 40-minute video. Oh, I'm dead here. But I just, again, thank you. Thank you to everyone who got me to this point here. Thank you to Bungie and the developers who have made both Destiny 1 and 2, current and former. Destiny has been a very important part of my life for a very long time. And I'll miss it. But huge thank you and a huge love you. And I hope we are all doing okay at the end of this. But for now, I think that is going to be it, Guardians. If you are new around here, maybe drop a follow. I have been posting Destiny for a while. I'm just now starting to post Magic, and I'm thinking of maybe posting Overwatch and Fortnite. I play just about any game that has a gun in it. I enjoy competitive first-person shooters and being sweaty and whatnot. Destiny was the only game that I really sort of focused on the PvE aspect and the lore and things like that. Outside of that, I enjoy competing and whatnot, and I don't know, maybe I'll find some sort of fun, interesting content to do on one of those games. But I have no plans to stop making videos altogether. And I do have plans to keep making videos, even about Destiny, through the remainder of its content. I think I might drop the Xur videos though, which will be different, but I think if this is the case and we are truly closing out the experience that has been Destiny, I think it's okay to let Xur rest for now. But if you enjoyed the video, I know it was just a yap sesh, but I would appreciate it if you gave me a like. And if you enjoy and want to start coming back, or if you already keep coming back, you should follow me and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. As always, I love you guys, and I hope you have a good week, Guardians. I will talk to you guys another time.